한국 문화를 미국 및 세계에 알리며 새로운 문화로 창조해가는 세종문화회가 후원 오찬 행사를 열었습니다. 그 하이라이트를 영상에 담았습니다.
Leveraging digital today and the amount of work.
Sejong Cultural Association is guided by viral vision to promote awareness and appreciation of Korea's rich cultural heritage.
In the last 4 years, about 300 poets from all over the world, about 29 to 30 countries, 6 continents.
We did a poll last year, 2 years ago, last year, 17,000 people. This society here, the Sejong Cultural Society, is so fascinating. It's so cool, and for me, it's a unique experience to be around Korean Americans who are so connected to their culture. The idea is that Korean culture is much more than K-pop. And in order for Korean culture to continue to expand and thrive, and I think take the next level, I think it's very important that people come to know the historical roots of aspects of Korean culture, the cultural heritage, and not just what we've seen in the past 30 or 40 years. And so a society like the Sejong Cultural Society is extremely important to spreading Korean heritage around the world and educating people. Just K-pop alone brings in about $9 billion a year to the Korean economy. And that number changes a lot. Different people, you'll see 7 billion or 8 billion or 10 billion, but about approximately 9 billion a year. So this is not an incidental movement here. K-pop is very important for not only the recognition of Korea and as a bringing, to sort of building up or strengthening soft power in Korea, but it's also economically very important. And K-pop fans are 2.4 times more likely to spend money on merchandise than fans of other musical genres. So, these K-pop fans and who are all over the world, they are bringing Korea many, many positive things. And I study this. I've been studying for 40 years economic development of nations and never could possibly predict that anybody would put Korea on a list of top 6 superpowers. So this isn't going to change. Korea is not suddenly going to become a mediocre nation, going to lose its power, whether it's soft power or economic power. Korea is on the world map to stay. But the question is, what happens and how does that play out? So a couple things. One, as I'm sure talk about, everybody talks about this population issue and having children. And it's true all over the world. It's not just Korea. It's hitting Korea. It's hitting some countries like Korea, like Japan, more profoundly than other countries. The United States is a multicultural nation, and it works as a multicultural nation. And it's what it is. When I look out these windows and I just think about what this country is, this is a multicultural country. And it's really good and it's cool. And it is what has made the United States what it is today. But Korea is not a multicultural nation. A multiculturalism, so I am a multiculturalist. This is what I do. If in my classroom and my work around the world, I enjoy and strengthening and talking about the different cultures coming together and how important and how valuable that is. Learn about other cultures, learn about other nations, engage people from other nations, grow, expand your mind, expand your consciousness. But that's not Korea. Korea is a homogeneous culture. In the heart, the essence of Korean culture emerges out of centuries of Korean culture. What makes the United States what we are all these cultures around the world. What makes Korea what it is centuries of Korean life. And so if the way to respond to these changes and maintain Korea's economic development is going to rely on more and more foreigners coming in this transformation, it's going to radically change Korea in ways that, will no longer be what it is, or what you recognize as what it is. It will take time, but this is a thing. $1.8 million Americans of Korean ancestry, about 2/3 describe themselves as Korean or Korean Americans. Okay, of other Asians, only half do that. So Koreans, the Korean community here in the United States, more likely to say, "Hey, I'm Korean." And there's this kind of sense in which that's really, really important, because for this nation, this homeland, for so many of you, for that homeland to prosper and continue to prosper, it's important that people in the diaspora respond or present themselves or hold themselves in particular ways. And that's why organizations like this cultural society are really important. And meetings and gatherings like this to celebrate and to connect and to reconnect with the culture are very important, because it produces or strengthens this sense of a pride of who we are, who you are, where you are from, your roots, your heritage, and then walking through the world with that in a way that feels very good and very powerful. In Korea, this nation, this motherland to so many, then benefits in a way directly from that. I have this thing that I say oftentimes, that the fish doesn't understand water. Human beings don't understand culture. We don't understand our own culture. And the only way we understand it is when we leave that culture and we look at it from the outside, or we meet people from outside that culture and they start telling us about our own culture. And I think that, for one, that's a value that I bring to many different places, because I can speak about other people's cultures from the perspectives of many different cultures. But you also, living here in the United States, you're outside of Korea. You also understand something about Korea, or have the ability to understand something about Korea that people living in Korea themselves don't fully understand. And that's that part about being out of the culture, that we see something with greater clarity. So that's another reason that I enjoy visiting with people who have left their culture, because I feel like you see something. You see something that people inside of Korea don't see. And I think it's really important that you hold that, because that's a sociological truth that a lot of times we forget. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah.